Good evening, and welcome back to the cellar. Tonight's tale involves three friends as close as brothers that consider themselves a crew. A seemingly relaxing tropical vacation turns into one of their worst nightmares. So sit back and, as always, enjoy the Cellar of Horror.
Yeah!
A giant wave had overtaken the entire pool, splashing guests, knocking drinks out of people's hands, giving everyone an unwanted drenching. Ha! You jokers should have moved out of the way. You know I had just nailed that jackknife into the water. Jason laughed as his friends just shook their heads. Half of the resort decided to leave the pool area. Oh, come on! It's a little bit of fucking water. You guys gonna melt if it hits you? I don't think that's the point, Jason. The fact that you filled my Jack and Coke with pool water would be one of many of my reasons I would be slightly aggravated. Will yelled right back at him. The crew had spent the majority of their time poolside at the floating bar on the boardwalk. Jason was the kind of guy that trouble would always be 3 steps behind him. The 3 buddies had been friends since high school, so they had always had to look out for Jason, bailing him out of jail, breaking up fights, and always having to apologize on his behalf because of his behavior. Because of these reasons, Jason was unable to hold down a steady job, and Will and Dave agreed to take him along on this trip if he at least attempted to seek employment while on the trip. Hey, where did all those scantily clad, big-titted girls go? This pool kinda went to a buzzkill. Jason sighed. Well, here's the thought. Maybe if your 240-pound, muscle-bound frame hadn't drenched half of them, or the fact you're in a drunken stupor, you wouldn't have scared them all away. Oh, fuck. You guys don't be jealous. I get my weights in while you two slack with your corporate agendas or your jobs or whatever you're calling them. Hey, remember the point of this trip was to get your ass in that corporate field? Or did that slip your mind already? Dave was becoming increasingly annoyed as his buzz was also wearing off. You guys don't need to worry about old Jace. Little did either of you know, I spoke to one of the locals last night. He's got a gig. It pays cash. No questions asked. And I'll be able to start this upcoming weekend. Really? What's the name of this supposed company, Jason? Will sarcastically poked back. Don't you two worry about it. I got it all under control. I'll be sitting pretty soon, well enough The next day, Will and Dave remained skeptical, but Jason refused to reveal the details of his job. You know, I tell you guys, but I just want to see the looks on both of your faces when I come back with a couple G's after only working a couple hours. Well, damn, Jason. That doesn't sound illegal or shady in any way. Will rolled his eyes. The group was heading to one of the main boardwalks to spend another day soaking up the 85-degree weather with their trusty cooler stocked with liquid refreshments in tow as they set up camp on the beach. They found a spot right near the oceanfront border and decided this would be the perfect spot to set up their gear. Hello, ladies. You want to see how it's done? You guys see that knockout blonde over there? I'm gonna go strolling right up to her. And if you guys cross your fingers, maybe she has some friends to liven up our evening. Oh, all-knowing sensei, show us your ways. Dave mocked as they both sat back and waited for Jason to embarrass himself with another priceless pickup line as he slowly approached the blonde and the brunette. Hey, you know, I can't quite figure out this nagging question. Jason interrupted the two girls' conversation. Well, is it how to be rude and interrupt two people trying to carry on an intelligent conversation? Because you already have the answer on that one. The blonde glared through Jason. No! I was just in need of a map. Because I can't quite figure out where you two fine ladies have been all my life. Really? Does that line actually work? Ever? Why don't you do yourself a favor and piss off, meathead? And with that, a cold glass of beer was poured right on Jason's head. From behind him, a dark-haired fellow with a similar muscular build stood up behind Jason. Is there a reason you are harassing my friends, bro? Bro? I'm not your bro. And we were having a perfectly fine conversation. And you shouldn't have done that, bro. And with that, Jason took two sudden punches, striking the man square in the forehead. The tall gentleman spat out blood from his mouth, and then he charged right for Jason, attempting to spear him. But the man was stopped right in his tracks as Jason's brute force and strength overtook him. He locked his arm around his neck, placing him in a guillotine, a move he had picked up from his mixed martial arts background. The same background that Jason could have made a career out of until his short temper and his drinking took priority. How do you like being choked out, bitch? I can do this all day until you go to sleep. Jason, let him go. Will and Dave attempted to pry him off as the beach patrol was already being flagged down. Come on, man, we gotta get the fuck out of here before we are bailing you out of the slammer. The crew learned how to make a fast exit because of Jason's constant antics, and before the patrol arrived, they had began revving their engine. And peeling out of sight of the beach patrol as they took a couple sharp turns down the road. Damn it, Jason! What part of that involved a relaxing day at the beach? Will took another sharp turn as they all held on the rails of the Jeep as it descended into a nearby forest area. A trail that was meant to evade any potential trouble. Oh, come on! You guys saw how I punked out that pussy. Right? I had him tapping out like a bitch. The following evening was a quiet one, because it was a Thursday, and the resort usually wouldn't come alive till Friday nights. Will and Dave decided to call it an early night, but of course, Jason decided to grab a couple cold ones and head out for the hot tub once again to scope out any more potential blondes. As Jason cranked up the temperature to 105 degrees, the jets began to fire up as he slowly soaked his body into the warm embrace of the hot tub. This is the life. Nice day at the beach, making somebody tap out. And ending the day in a nice fucking warm hot tub with a stiff drink. As Jason settled himself, his phone began to vibrate. And to his surprise, it was his employer calling. Oh, shit. I wasn't expecting a call yet. Well, might as well be comfortable while I take the call. Hello, this is Jason speaking. In a cocky but professional tone, the way Jason would always answer the phone. Hello, Jason. This is Naveed. Just wanted to give you a heads up, man. Need you to start tomorrow, bright and early, at the designated spot. Brother, you still down with making some quick cash, though, right? I'm all in. I even signed those forms. Although, I didn't understand the last part. Why would I need a medical exam before starting? I've never been sick in my life, and I'm built like a Greek god. It's just company protocol, my friend. It will be quick and easy. You will be in and out, and on your way making fast money. No worries, man. As Jason rushed back to the hotel room. In his excited stupor, he decided to wake up his bros with his own version of an alarm clock to share the good news. With a couple riffs on his guitar amps turned all the way up to ear-bleeding levels. Oh, my fucking ears, mate! Will yelled at him as him and Dave fell off the beds, hitting the floor at the same time. Guess what, guys? Tomorrow I am officially employed! I told you guys not to doubt me. Shit. We get it. We can go out tomorrow night. As long as you put your fucking guitar away, man. I'm so excited, bros. This is the start of something big. I can just feel it. The next day, Jason was up bright and early. He considered once again ringing his alarm, but he decided he would be able to have plenty of time to harass his crew later this evening. He was ready to get down to business. The coordinates he was given last night didn't register with his GPS, which for the first time sent a little bit of a shiver running down Jason's back as he turned off the main road to a dimly lit area. As he began his descent into darkness, he came up on a small shack that was due south, just like the directions had indicated. He was greeted by the same voice he had been talking to on the phone for several days that put his mind slightly at ease. Ah, Jason, my brother. Glad you made it. Glad I made it. You know I wouldn't miss an opportunity for some quick G's. Excellent, my brother. Let's get started right away. He led him into the shack, which that sense of calm was immediately replaced with a bad feeling, as the door was bolted and locked shut behind them. Ah, no worries, my brother. Let's just try to keep our company privatized. Now please follow me. He was led down a flight of metal stairs to a dark room with a metal table and a smaller table that appeared to have a bunch of syringes. This doesn't look like my doctor's office. What the fuck is this? No worries. No worries, brother. This is the medical exam we have to get through. It shouldn't take more than a half an hour, brother. And you can start making those stacks of money. Just make yourself comfortable, brother. Yeah. Well, let's get this over with. As you can see, I'm healthy as a fucking horse. Before he could even finish the sentence, a man with a dark hood that covered his face injected a syringe, emptying the contents inside of Jason's neck. What the fuck is this? Damn it! Jason began to wildly swing, throwing punches left and right, and attempting to lock in a hold. But he was already feeling the effects of the sedative. As the drug kicked in, His eyes felt heavy. "You motherfuckers, you swear to God I better not be able to get back." He hit the floor with a loud thump. As Jason woke up, he was immediately met with a sense of panic. No matter how much he struggled, he could not move his arms or his legs. They had been strapped down to a metal table, locked securely in place. "Oh, Christ!" he yelled as he felt the cold steel of a surgical blade cut into his side, an incision, an excruciating pain. As he yelled out in horror, the doctor then began seemingly breaking bones and separating flesh as the sickening sound of muscle and blood being ripped apart from his very side, ripped through Jason's ears. Just as it seemed like the pain couldn't get any worse, he lost consciousness once again. He awoke, but this time he was in a tub full of ice, and there was a note visible to the left of his view. Panicked and scrambling to figure out what had just happened, he was met with a sharp, shooting pain. As soon as he moved his body 3 inches to the left, he then looked on in horror as blood was pouring out of a sloppily put together stitch job on the left side of his abdomen. He then began to open the note in fear of what it would say. "Sorry, my brother, but the job position has been filled. We appreciate your interest in the position. By the way, your medical exam went off without a hitch, brother. It went excellent, man. We were able to extract the kidney. No problem, no worries. So the company thanks you, man." At the end of the note, scribbled at the very bottom, it read, "Oh, by the way, brother, you might want to call an ambulance in under 10 minutes. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that wound of yours won't bleed out, man." Jason let out a yell as he realized, in all his focus to start this job, his phone was in fact near him and was in grabbing distance to the left of him. He picked it up, but was met with a dead screen. And all the excitement to start this job, he hadn't bothered to charge his phone. Even before pulling up, it indicated a warning sound to connect the power source. He figured it would be a waste of time. He couldn't believe what was happening. providing a visual image that would forever fuel his final nightmares.